afternoon. Thanks for tuning in to Let's Talk About It Media 21, where we talk hot topics, trending topics, what's going on around the world, what's being talked about. We may get to some hot topics. I've been more so focusing on this topic for now, and I've been doing my shorts. So at night, you can go ahead and check out some of my shorts. We are going to talk Trump and what's going on in the news and what's trending. So, like the video as you guys come in, subscribe, double tap the screen, and like the video as you guys come in. That's the best way to support the channel. For all of you that have been subscribing, thank you. We are trying to hit 50K by next month. So, make sure when you come in, as you're commenting, hit the subscribe button, turn on your notifications, and support the page. So I'm gonna go ahead and do my disclaimer, protect the page always. All comments are allegedly Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowances made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teaching, scholarships and research. Fair use is use permitted by a copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. All comments are alleged in our opinion and for entertainment purposes only. Thanks for being here. Thanks for supporting the channel. Please like the video. Thanks for watching. Okay, there we go. All right, you guys, we're going to go ahead and get straight into the video. Like the video as you guys come in. I appreciate you all being here.
Threatening this new investigation I just discussed involving Epstein. Tell us more about that. Yeah, I mean, this is remarkable. I would argue, Pamela, and Wolf, I'll note as well that I believe he's posting these from the residence. I don't see a Marine outside the West Wing. So he doesn't appear office. But look, he is threatening now to ask his Attorney General, Pam Bondi, as well as the FBI to open investigations into some of his political opponents.
Okay, so this is the moment that could end Trump's legal defense completely.
Like the video as you guys come in. Like the video as you guys come in. Hold on 1 second. Hold on.
You hear that? Cha-ching.
Under the Trump administration, America is back and America is open for business. In 4 long years, Joe Biden secured less than $1 trillion. In 9 short months, I've secured $18 trillion to rebuild our factories, create hundreds of thousands of jobs, and bring back those beautiful words, made in America.
The trade deficit's shrinking, the GDP's growing, and you hear that giant sucking sound? We flipped it. All those jobs are being sucked back into America.
We just took a picture backstage with some of the great business leaders and some of the great people, friends of mine from your country, and beautiful picture. While we were taking the picture, I said, could you make it 1.5 trillion? So he's got something to think about.
The Saudis went from fist bumps with Biden to cash dumps with Trump. That'll produce jobs.
GE Aerospace will soon be delivering dozens of new airplane engines for 787 Dreamliners in Saudi Arabia's commercial fleet. Big order. It was a big order just secured. Every new job and every new factory created by these announcements builds up our middle class and really strengthens the industrial backbone of America.
Soon the whole world's going to be boarding 787s to come kiss the ring of the king. Just kidding. No kings. And throw back champagne in the big, beautiful ballroom. Because last night's soiree in the teeny-weeny East Room was a little too cramped for these ballers. The dinner was so hot, the prince left his tux at the embassy.
Someone told me that there is some of the bidding sites that they're bidding on me wearing black suits, and if you bid on me wearing black suits, I'm coming here with the black suits, they're going to get almost 17x. So I want to tell them, sorry, you lose the bid. Maybe next time.
Big Balls wasn't there, but the next best thing was Ronaldo.
This room is loaded up with the biggest leaders in the world, business, sports. You know, my son is a big fan of Ronaldo, wherever Ronaldo is here. Ronaldo. And Barron got to meet him, and I think he respects his father a little bit more now. Just the fact that I introduced you.
Ronaldo got a tour of the White House. I'm sure after Trump showed him the B-2 bomber models in the Oval, he took him into the alcove where Clinton and Lewinsky played hacky sack. And guess who else was there? Elon Musk. It's been a minute. Ronaldo took a selfie with him during cocktails. Trump said, "What's up, Musk?" when he rolled into dinner. I wonder if Elon crashed in his old office like the good old times back in the Doge days before Elon said Trump was in the Epstein files. I guess he was kind of right, but not in that way. But either way, water under the bridge.
They got the worst policy. I don't talk about it too much because if I talk about it, they might change. I tell people, don't talk about it. Wait till 2 weeks before the election and hit the hell out of them. Right? We talked about that, right, Elon?
So the boys are back? Maybe. Trump still wants to hear one more thing.
We're giving them a deduction on the interest if they buy a nice Tesla car, they borrow the money. You're so lucky I'm with you, Elon. I'll tell you, has he ever thanked me properly? But I'm giving them a deduction. Now, Elon would like to have it differently. A deduction only if you buy a Tesla, right?
I lost my hair in 2020.
Like the video,
Here's how I
like the
grew it
video
back.
as you guys
I
come
used
in. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being here. Please hit the subscribe button as you guys come in. Thanks for being here and thanks for hitting the like and subscribe. Thanks for being here. Hello, Anonymous.
Trump's not here to make war, just money. He only hates people who keep him from making it, like the Fed chair, Too Late Jerome. Trump wants him axed. And he asked Bessent to be the hatchet man.
The only thing Scott's blowing it on is the Fed. Because the Fed, the rates are too high, Scott. And if you don't get it fixed fast, I'm going to fire your ass.
Trump has a soft side, too. It breaks his heart when you go green.
Some of these countries that are losing their ass, we have countries that are going bankrupt because they're putting windmills all over the place. You're supposed to make money with energy, not lose money.
Money's Trump's favorite word. But the P word's clocking in at a close second. Peace. A peace agreement between Russia and Ukraine could come as soon as this week. Axios reports Witkoff hammered it out with Moscow and hinted Ukraine better take it. The White House says, as for the rest of Europe, we don't really care about the Europeans. So diplomatic. Trump's doing so much for peace that we have Nicki Minaj speaking at the United Nations.
I would like to thank President Trump for prioritizing this issue and for his leadership on the global stage in calling for urgent action to defend Christians in Nigeria.
Nikki's ultra MAGA. You know who else is? Toyota. The Toyota CEO showed up to a NASCAR event in Japan rocking a Trump Vance shirt and a MAGA hat. Kind of weird, but the whole world's somehow America first. And America, just like McDonald's, we're loving it.
Approve of Trump on foreign policy at this point in term one. Look, Donald Trump was just at a 35% approval rating, up like a rocket. We're talking about 43% now. That's an 8-point rise. On the net approval rating, we're talking about a double-digit rise. The American people like much more of what they're seeing from Donald Trump in foreign policy in term two.
The country knows we have a fighter in the Oval. Trump's not going to the octagon. They're bringing the octagon to him.
The card that people expect to be at the White House. That's what I'm going to put together.
So it's going to be packed.
Trump versus Biden.
It's always about the fans. What do the fans want to see and what would get everybody excited? I mean, the fighters are literally going to walk from the Oval Office.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, if you're a fighter, I mean, they're going to walk from the Oval Office.
Why don't they pass a couple executive orders?
Fighters in the Oval. Teddy Roosevelt would be so proud. Biden thought he was a fighter, but he spent more time fighting a cough. The country loves fighters, always has. The Democrats know it, and they're not even in the ring.
Democrats, if we are going to deal with the onslaught from the White House, need to A, have a plan, and B, get a little more alpha energy into our leadership. Okay? A little more alpha energy.
The Democrats don't fight for Americans. They fight Trump or they fight each other. Van Jones is getting cannibalized. Oh, God. Democrats need to fix their party before they fix the country. Trump made it rain in Saudi Arabia with money and had dinner with Musk, Ronaldo, and Mrs. Ronaldo. And Nicki Minaj is our new UN ambassador. Kamala couldn't even sell herself. No way she could sell America. All can she sell is a book about how she lost.
We're here with Auntie Madam Vice President in Nashville. So excited for tonight's book talk.
It's great to be back with you, Justin. The power's with the people. Everybody make sure you...
Kamala took a break from her DEI book tour and hit the campaign trail. No one asked her to campaign in Virginia and New Jersey and New York, so she grabbed the bullhorn like Reverend Al and went buck wild in Tennessee.
Who the power wins? The people! The power wins!
Is Kamala ready to get back inside that octagon, trade blows with Greasy for the nom? Or is she still unburdened by what has been?
With all that you know to be possible, all that you know can be, unburdened, as you know I say, by what has been, but seeing what can be.
Kamala's new line? 107 days wasn't enough time.
Was 107 days just not feasible in terms of what you had to do?
It wasn't enough time.
Plain and simple.
It wasn't enough time. Yeah.
Kamala was vetoed.
But she was there for 4 years. She was there for 4 years. So let's continue. Fair use reaction clip.
Come on the air tonight because President Trump has now signed the Epstein Files bill into law. The final step to force the Justice Department to turn over everything it has on Epstein within the next.
So I'm going to play this clip of what's behind me. Like the video as you guys come in.
The federal government will now resume normal operations, and my administration and our partners in Congress will continue our work to lower the cost of living, restore public safety, grow our economy, and make America affordable again. And it's an honor now to sign this incredible bill and get our country working again. Thank you. The federal government will now resume normal operations, and my administration and our partners in Congress will continue our work to lower the cost of living, restore public safety, grow our economy, and make America affordable again. And it's an honor now to sign this incredible bill and get our country working again. Thank you.
Like the video, fair use.
Part of the president's lengthy statement, I'll read it here, where he said, quote, Jeffrey Epstein, who was charged by the Trump Justice Department in 2019, not the Democrats, with an exclamation point,
Good afternoon.
was a lifelong Democrat, donated thousands of dollars to Democrat politicians, and was deeply associated with many well-known Democrat figures. The president goes on to write, perhaps the truth about these Democrats and their associations with Jeffrey Epstein will soon be revealed because I have just signed the bill to release the Epstein files. Trump says, as everyone knows, I asked Speaker of the House Mike Johnson and Senate Majority Leader John Thune to pass this bill in the House and the Senate. That, of course, came after he fought the bill, but he concluded with, this latest hoax will backfire on the Democrats just as all of the rest have. Thank you all for your attention to this matter. Of course, this is the bill that the president spent months trying to kill. He is now taking credit for its passage on Capitol Hill after it became clear that it was going to pass at least the House. While it's a moment that so many of Jeffrey Epstein's survivors that you've heard from here on this show have waited so long for, it is notable the president did not mention the women who fought for this bill's passage in his post tonight. The fact also that the president didn't take the opportunity to sign it today before cameras is notable, given how many bill signings and executive orders he has regularly turned into lengthy Oval Office events and press conferences. We did hear from the Attorney General on this matter earlier. Pam Bondi was asked multiple times how her department plans to handle this process of turning over these materials to Congress, given the massive amount of data on Epstein the Justice Department has.
Does the new investigation by the Southern District of New York U.S. Attorney prevent the department from releasing all of the remaining files?
So we have released over 33,000 Epstein documents to the Hill, and we'll continue to follow the law and to have maximum transparency.
What are you doing here over the next 30 days, as we understand?
We will continue to follow the law with maximum transparency, protecting victims.
Yeah. When you say follow the law, Attorney General, do you mean that you will provide all the files by 30 days?
We will follow the law. The law passed both chambers last evening. It has not yet been signed, but we will continue to follow the law, again, while protecting victims, but also providing maximum transparency.
Now, Attorney General Bondi declined to give any explanation on how the plan to follow the law is any different from what the department has been doing already, especially given it was just 2 months ago when the FBI director told Congress this about those same Epstein files in their possession.
We have released where President Trump's name's in the Epstein files and everybody else, and all credible information that we are legally allowed to release has been released. Pursuant to Mr. Acosta's collection of information based on the search warrants, that's all we have in our possession.
And I'm asking you, that stuff.
That's all we got. We are releasing as much as legally allowed. We are providing everything we can legally provide.
The Attorney General did try to explain why, just months after her department declared that there was no evidence that could predicate an investigation against uncharged third parties. She announced those very investigations that President Trump demanded last week.
What changed since then that you launched this investigation?
Information that has come for information. There's information, new information, additional information, and again, we will continue to follow the law, to investigate any leads.
That would seem to differ from what the president has been saying over the course of the last few months, as his team has been trying to make the entire Epstein saga go away.
It's really a Democrat hoax. It's a Democrat hoax. It's just a hoax. The whole Epstein thing is a Democrat hoax. I call it the Epstein hoax.
I don't understand why the Jeffrey Epstein case would be of interest to anybody. It's pretty boring stuff. It's sordid, but it's boring.
The whiplash whiplash over Trump, Bondi, and Patel's hyping and then downplaying and then hyping again the Epstein investigations is even being felt by some of the president's biggest supporters in MAGA.
I heard it's a hoax. And then all of a sudden, he's going to release the files. Well, I thought there was no files.
Man.
He wants an investigation now.
Listen.
Like, what is going on?
This is the end of the Trump administration. This is the beginning of the lame duck presidency. It's obvious to everyone he will trail off. He will get older. He's going.
Yeah, and that didn't they say that a while ago that there was no files? Now there's files. Like the video. Like the video.
He's adorned the White House in gold. Epstein's going to suck the oxygen out of a lot of this.
I want to start tonight with CNN's senior justice correspondent, Evan Perez, who is among those questioning the Attorney General today. And Evan, I think she said multiple times they're going to follow the law. What stood out to you being inside that room today with Pam Bondi?
I think the whiplash that they are feeling in that building, because they really have stuck their necks out to try to defend the president in the sense that, they've gone out and they said there's nothing to see here. We've closed the books. And then they were trying to persuade members of Congress. You reported this, right? Lauren Boebert and among others.
To strong-arm them.
Yes, that's another way to say it. But certainly they were there to persuade them to say, look, if there's stuff you want to see and for us to brief you on, we're here to do that. And then, the president goes out and says, we want a new I want another investigation. And they do that. And then he sort of pulls the rug from out of under them on Sunday by saying, okay, now vote for this bill that he was using the Justice Department all along to try to fight. So they are feeling the whiplash, and now they're kind of left in a very difficult place. Pam Bondi is now, obviously there is an investigation, and so she has to navigate how to release documents within those 30 days that they're going to comply with the law, but also satisfy the rules. You cannot release documents that may be relevant to an ongoing investigation.
Well, and so the president signed it today. 30 days from today would be December 18th. And so do we have any idea what the Justice Department's game plan is in terms of what they're going to release if they have more than 300 gigabytes of data and material?
Well, one of the things that we know is that some of the documents have already been redacted. So, for instance, to remove the names of victims, anything that would harm victims has already been. The big question is, can they release documents related to some of the uncharged people who associated with Epstein, but who are not accused of any wrongdoing? There is a law that is supposed to protect their privacy, and so that's kind of the big difference here. Some of the documents, the kind of things that you saw this week that were released by the Democrats, right? And obviously Larry Summers is an example of what happens. Those people still associated with Epstein, even though he had been convicted in Florida, continue to communicate with him. They're not accused of any wrongdoing. And so now all of those communications, I think, are fair game to be released.
Yeah, and that's a good point, because I think Mike Johnson was one of the leading voices saying that other people could get swept up in this, potentially just be embarrassed by this. I mean, Larry Summers, it's reporting tonight he's not going to be teaching at Harvard anymore while he's under investigation. That's according to the Harvard Crimson. But, I mean, that is exactly what the president is pointing to in his very lengthy post tonight, is he's saying this is going to be way worse for Larry Summers and for Democrats than for me. I mean, he seems to want that information to come out.
Well, yeah, I mean, we don't know, because there are going to be mentions of President Trump in these additional documents. We know that is actually one of the problems here for him. And but the issue is, are there other people who, again, have not been credibly accused of any wrongdoing, and do their lives get upended in that? And you could argue, right, that if you knew he was a convicted sex offender, associated with him, then what happens? You knew what was going to happen eventually.
Yeah. Evan Perez, thank you for that reporting. We'll see what the Justice Department.
Like the video, fair use reaction clip. Like the video as you guys come in. Thanks for being here. Thanks for subscribing. Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip.
This hour, this is over the White House in D.C. as a big meeting is set for tomorrow between President Trump and Zohran Mamdani. He's, of course, the mayor-elect of New York City. The president announcing Friday's meeting on his Truth Social. You can see that post right here on your screen, as he did write, quote, Communist Mayor of New York City, Zohran Kwame Mamdani, has asked for a meeting. We have agreed that this meeting will take place at the Oval Office on Friday, November 21st. That's tomorrow. Further details to follow. We also got a response here via the New York Times from a spokesperson for Mamdani who said, quote, the mayor-elect plans to meet with the president in Washington to discuss public safety, economic security, and the affordability agenda that over 1 million New Yorkers voted for just 2 weeks ago. Again, taking a live look at this hour over the White House in D.C., where that meeting will take place tomorrow. Not quite clear if we are going to get live images from there, but if we do, we're going to bring them to you here, as we always do, on Live Now from Fox. Right now, I want to discuss more about this and other top political stories. Let's bring in Alan Sanders, an attorney, former Time Magazine senior reporter, and Professor Emeritus of Political Science at St. Peter's University in Jersey City. Alan, as always, thank you so much for taking the time to be here with us today.
Good morning, Josh. It's always a pleasure.
Good morning. Well, first off, I do want to ask you kind of an overall question about this planned meeting between President Trump and Zoran Mamdani. Now, we know since Mamdani was elected, he has said he does want to sit down and have a conversation with President Trump about just about everything. So what is the significance of this meeting, and what should we really be watching for?
Well, look, it's not unusual for the mayor of New York and the president of the United States to meet shortly after elections. Also, it's not unusual for political enemies to talk to each other because each one wants to be able to say, look, I sat down and talked to the devil. You know, the devil is the other guy. And then, of course, they come out of the meeting and they can use that meeting and spin it whichever way they want that is politically useful for them. So not unusual. Let's watch what the meeting is all about and how they spin that meeting coming out of it.
And as you kind of said there, it's not unusual for that to happen. It's something that always does, even though we're talking that is the president, a Republican, and the head of the largest city there in the country, Zoran Mamdani, New York City. So it's not uncommon. Things like this would normally happen.
That's right. And if you take a look at the statements of both men, it looks like affordability is going to be a major topic of discussion. And certainly Mamdani and Democratic politicians have made affordability a big issue. And recently the president has now said, yes, also he talk about affordability. So politically, this is useful for both of them to both advertise.
Okay, so let's continue with hot topics, trending topics. What's going on? Let me get to some other stuff that's being talked about. Chloe wants to trend about Lamar. Remember how Lamar went on the show and Chloe gave him back some of his stuff? Why is she still talking about her ex? She don't have nothing else to talk about. This is her on her podcast. Let's move on. Then now they're talking about they want to trend. They want to go viral. Is anybody not paying attention to this? They're overly wanting to be in media. It's kind of creepy when you think about it. Every week they want to trend to go viral about something. My goodness. So, of course, we talked about Donald Trump and Epstein. Remember, he had said he never hung out with him. Looks like they hung out. This is different outfits. Look like they hung out. Why would he say he was never around him? Why would he say that? So this is interesting. It's being reported that Michael Jordan is going to be on LeBron James' podcast on the 23rd, a little bit before Christmas, a few days before Christmas. That will be interesting. If you guys did not know, there's still an investigation going on in regards to different sports teams. I'll say it that way. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. So that's going to be interesting. Will you be tuning in for Michael Jordan to be on LeBron James' podcast on the 23rd? So that's going to be interesting. So let's continue. Let's continue. I'm not going to go into Kim's stuff. Some of the Epstein files won't be released. Now they're saying some of them won't be released. Is that because of the investigation? Possibly. But let's continue with hot topics, trending topics. It's being reported, I don't know if you guys know this, it's being reported that Diddy's kids has taken Janice Combs to court to control their father's finances. Did you guys know that? Many people had talked about it, but I really didn't see a lot of posts regarding it. So that's what's being reported, that the kids are allegedly taking Janice Combs to court to take control of their father's finances. So like I said, we're just doing a few hot topics, trending topics right now. If you guys did not know, I'm not going to play the audio. Mia Thornton was arrested. It's being reported that she was arrested due to allegedly she took items from a rental location, and the person is asking her, do you know why you're being arrested? And she said yes. Maybe I will play it.
So we just have a holding cell. We don't have like jail, just holding cell. And I appreciate it. Okay? You want to teach me how to put your shoes on? Yes, ma'am. Go ahead. Go ahead and real fast.
So he's being very cordial. Who released this though, too? It's body cam.
You want your hands, excuse me, you want your hands. Hold on. Relax a second, relax. You want your hands this way or you want your hands turn this side to praying? You want this way? What's your way more comfortable? Okay.
Of course she's crying. What is going on with these housewives of Potomac? Karen got arrested. Wendy Osefo has allegations against her. Now Mia has allegations against her. What is going on with these housewives? It's almost like Bravo allege, rewards allege bad behavior. So these women, I've told y'all this. They love if you're getting a divorce. They love if you have problems with the law. They love if you can't get along with people. And now a lot of them are having issues in regards to being arrested. What is going on with these Potomac women? Portia's also trending in the news because she had an incident on her flight. I'll get into that, but yeah, Mia was arrested for allegedly, they're calling it, she took furniture from a location. Then she's telling the police, I have the key. They can go get the furniture. I'll give it back or something like that. Girl, you can't take somebody else's furniture at a rental location. It's not your place. So let me see if I can. This is the Portia stuff. So Portia was on a flight. Allegedly, let me just tell y'all what was said. Portia was on a flight and she was about to listen to something, and the lady was like, "Do I have to listen to this?" And she's like, "Yeah. Do you mind? Do you want to listen to it?" She's like, "No." So allegedly, the lady was like, "This is not okay. I don't want to listen to what you're about to listen to." So the lady's trying to state that Portia somehow, some way, alleged nicked her, or her phone got knocked out of her hand, allegedly. But we're going to listen to what both are saying. This is Portia at the airport.
I love you. I thank you. Any family traveling with car seats and strollers are welcome aboard at this time. Along with Zone 3, Zone 3 is now welcome aboard.
So there's that. That's Portia getting off the flight.
Who was sitting next to me? I was on my phone, and the volume was up on the phone. And she turned to me out of nowhere and she said, "So you're gonna make me listen to that the whole flight?" And I said, "Well, do you want to?" And she said, "No."
So you listen to what?
Am I gonna make her listen to my phone?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I said, "This is before we took off." Yes, even before we took off.
So you guys were in Las Vegas when that happened?
Yeah. Yeah.
The plane was on the ground?
Yeah.
The door was shut? It was, okay.
No, the door wasn't shut. People were still boarding.
People were still boarding?
Oh, okay. Okay, I couldn't tell.
Okay.
Okay. So she was like, are you going to make me listen to that? I said, well, do you want to? And she said, no. I said, well, this is a nicer way to say that. And she said, bitch. You don't tell me, bitch. And I was like, are you okay? What? I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm just telling him what happened.
You were using your phone. It was loud.
Yeah.
And she complained about the louder.
Yeah, she asked me, the lady who was sitting next to me, I was on my phone, and the volume was up on the phone. And she turned to me out of nowhere and she said, "So you're going to make me listen to that the whole flight?" And
The next clip.
Thank you so much. She, so the music, the Instagram was on, and she told me, "Am I gonna have to listen to that?" And I said, "Well, do you want to?" And she said, "No." I said, "Okay." And then I said, "Well, there was a nicer way you could have said that, And then she says, "What, bitch?" She said, "Bitch, you don't talk to me." And I was like, "Are you okay?" From that point on, she said, "Who the do you think you are?" And so I said, no. I said, "Y'all need to get her out of here. Please get her away from me." And so then when she, she tried to take her phone before, then she drops her phone on the floor. She's like, "You hit me. Oh my God. You hit me. You just hit me in my face. Oh my God. I'm pressing charges. I want you to be in jail." And I'm like, what's happening? So the steward
So her phone dropped on the floor. You didn't slap the phone?
No.
Okay.
So then the steward comes over, and then the steward says to her, says to me, because I say, get your ugly ass out of here, because then I'm upset. Then the steward says to me, thank you so much. She, so the music, you're an adult. You're an adult. You can't be cursing like that. No, and I said, you're chastising me like this woman is the one going crazy. So then they end up making her move to the next chair with the guy. But she was irate, so they were trying to hold her because she didn't want to move. It was like she wanted to move but didn't want to move. So as you can see, they had to pull her.
She was at the window, or she was at the end?
So she was in the row of the aisle.
She was in the aisle. And where were you? You were in the middle?
I'm at the door in first class. There's only 2 seats.
Only 2 seats. Oh, you are the window, and she's at the aisle.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're telling me there was nothing physical?
No.
It was just verbal.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
You're an adult. You can't. You're
Next
an adult.
clip.
Because before I say anything, I want to know, is my information?
So this is the lady that was complaining about Portia.
Before I say anything, I want to know, is my information going to be given to the woman who assaulted me?
No, ma'am.
Because I'm afraid for my life.
No, ma'am.
Okay.
It's not.
I was sitting in my seat. She was the last passenger to come on board. So when she came on board, she said, I'm in that seat. I said, no problem. I jumped up, got far away from her so she had plenty of room. She had to put stuff in the upstairs thing. I understand that. Took plenty of time. Sit back down. We never spoke other than that. And after about 25 minutes of her on Instagram, full blast, every time she would flip, because apparently it was from a loud place, I jumped because it was so loud. So I waited 25 minutes, give her time, let her do whatever she needed to do. And then I said, am I going to have to listen to that the whole time? And she said, do you like it? And I said, no. And she said, before I say anything, I want to know, is my information
Next clip.
the way you asked me? I said, don't put this on me. And the next thing I know, there was a fingernail so close to my eye that I thought I was going to be physically attacked. She had her, I don't want to do it to you, sir. She had her hands in my face, screaming, calling me crazy. On and on and on. So now, the flight attendants can't come help me because they're strapped in for this takeoff. My phone is sitting.
Okay, it sounds like there's might be music behind.
All right.
Here's what I'm afraid of. I'm afraid she's going to have me killed.
Da 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 da.
There's anything I can do to help you. You were sitting near us?
I was.
Yeah, I was just telling
I was there and I heard it was unreprehensible. But when I got in your face and gave you the middle finger, and was doing things that were completely kidding.
She was. She started
I'm
screaming.
sorry. I'm embarrassed. I'm so sorry.
It's all right.
That's why I'm asking if you're okay.
Yes, no, I
wouldn't
appreciate
be.
it.
I wouldn't be okay.
I mean, you know, I don't know what she's claiming she's gonna press charges saying that I hit her. I'm like, I did not hit you.
I mean, you want to continue? You want to continue, ma'am?
Sorry.
Can you excuse me?
Okay. Can I get your information? Can you get your information as a witness?
Sure.
Yeah, please. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
I was sick.
So at least Portia has a witness.
No, that's what I'm saying.
You saw everything happen?
Yes. The guy's seat had his seat reclined before the flight even took off, and I saw the entire gap. She did not touch
You
her.
didn't touch her. Oh,
she's screaming.
You hit me in my face. I can tell you. She did not. I could see her.
I can write my info down.
If there's anything I can do to help you.
You were sitting.
So there's two witnesses backing Portia, which is good because I hadn't seen this or heard this from anybody else's page. So that's good they got Portia's back.
What's your phone number? It's
Okay, so they doing that. They protecting. So that's good. They blocked that out. That's good. That's good.
you have an ID?
Yeah.
So that's good. They got Portia's back, and they got witnesses that Portia didn't do anything.
Here's my ID. I also witnessed nothing happened. Sorry, I don't always. I learned. My family.
Touch her. Whenever she started saying, I was like,
I'm like, no.
thank you.
What happened?
My name is.
Morgan
Monroe, and I never saw her activate any situation to create a situation on board.
Yeah, no. Okay. So you didn't see anything physical?
Nothing. No, it was only a couple rows back from.
Okay.
She didn't do it in the first class. I could see it.
Next clip.
What's your phone number?
Okay, so then he getting her information. Okay, I'm gonna stop here because I don't want, Okay, everybody, I just wanted to go live for a little while. Looked like Portia was not in the wrong. These people, two people got Portia's back. And you see the color. Hello, two people's got Portia back. And you didn't see nobody stand next to the other lady having her back. So that's a good thing. When you're a celebrity, you have to walk away. You have to put your hands together. You have to have witnesses. It's the holiday season. People are, and maybe alleged, still a little frustrated with the delays. And you got to make sure you got witnesses. You got to make sure you protect yourself during this holiday season. Everything is heightened. People are irritated because they possibly have to fly somewhere they may or may not want to fly to. But it's a good thing Portia has witnesses. She has two. We didn't see nobody stand next to that lady and stick up for the lady. So we talked Trump, we talked Mia, we talked Portia. I'm glad I saw these videos because I really haven't seen these anywhere. And that's good that Portia has witnesses and they got their information. So is that going to be a good thing that this lady is lying to officers stating stuff that's not true? What's going to happen in regards to that? So it looks like Portia's in maybe okay because there's two witnesses sticking up for Portia. So there's that. I just want to do hot topics, trending topics. We've been live for like 35 minutes. I hope everyone has subscribed. I thank everyone for being here. It's kind of been like a relaxing vacation week for me. So I've been going live only for like 30 minutes to 45 minutes to maybe an hour. Last week I went live for almost 2 hours, 2.5 hours, almost an hour and a half. So this week I kind of just wanted to do a little hot topics, trending topics. There is a lot going on in regards to the government. But there's times when you just still need to do your videos to stay in the algorithm. But there's this time I'm so busy. I can only do what I can do and stay within the algorithm. So my video yesterday did pretty good. The day before did pretty good. Today's a little light, but I couldn't get to the video soon enough. Normally I go live 9, 10, or 11. Today it was almost like 12. So it's a little bit later in the afternoon. So there's a lot more people probably live, but that's okay. That's okay. I can only do what I could do because I could have went live in my car for about 30 minutes. I just didn't want to do that because I was waiting on something, but I didn't want to do that. So I just said, I'll just wait. There's times when I have to take care of stuff and wait for stuff. And I just said, I'll just wait till I get home. So mornings are a little bit better, but that's okay. This video may get like 3,000 or 4,000 views, but that's okay. I'll take it. So please make sure you subscribe in the replay game. Thanks for tuning in to Let's Talk About It Media 21. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowances made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teaching, scholarships, and research. Fair use is used permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. All comments are alleged in our opinion and for entertainment purposes only. Have a great day, everyone. I hope you enjoy your Thursday, enjoy your weekend. If you're not tuned in for tomorrow, hopefully you will be though. Like the video, subscribe to the page, and turn on your notifications. Thanks for being here, everyone. Have a great day. Goodbye. Be blessed.